So, al-Sharaa very recently had a $10 million bounty on his head, has ties to al-Qaeda. What's your reaction seeing him at the White House meeting with the president?
Well, listen, Elizabeth, we have to understand how we got here. My family, as you said, escaped in the 60s, and now 60 years later, there's been basically a nuclear winter of any organizations in Syria. There's, since the last 14 years of revolution, 800,000 dead, 10 million out of 21 million displaced. So the net is positive for Assad gone. And this is what's left, which is an Islamist post-terrorist that ultimately, I pray, will be part of Revolution 3.0, will be to marginalize the Islamists. But right now, this is what President Trump has. This is what Secretary Rubio has. And as we do baby steps, we see today he has joined the coalition against ISIS. We see today he has promised the demilitarization of ISIS terrorists. And we see a realignment in the Middle East, where Syria is no longer in the Iranian hegemony, is no longer tied to Russia, and now is with our ally Turkey, Qatar, and others. As an anti-Islamist Muslim, I'll tell you, I'm very concerned about his political Islamist supremacy, about the human rights of minorities like Christians, Druze, and Alawites in Syria. So there's a lot to be concerned about, but this is a positive step forward.
Can we trust him? Can President Trump trust him?
Absolutely not. He's a chameleon who is doing what he can to, sort of appease the West, if you will. His worldview.
That's the fear, that he's just saying what he needs to get what he wants.
That's the Islamists. This is not just al-Sharaa. This is Qatar. This is the Turkish Muslim Brotherhood. This is the Islamists in the West. This is not just Sharaa. So he's a tip of the iceberg of sort of a global political Islamic red-green axis that we see compromising our security. But President Trump is appropriately holding him accountable. And we're going to see whether he comes to terms with the Abraham Accords 2.0, because if he comes closer to alliance with Israel, that will be a position of security that will move towards reform and modernization with free markets. I'm hearing from family, Elizabeth, that in Syria they're starting to get property rights back, that they're starting to get their property back so that they can own it. This is all going to be the seeds of a foundation that will, in the end, marginalize the Islamists. And hopefully, this is why he's waiting 5 years for an election, because he knows a true united Syria with Kurds and Christians and Druze and Alawites and Sunnis and Shia will not elect an Islamist like him. So this is just a short-term move towards, I think, marginalizing these radical ideologies.
You say not to trust him, and he's got a history that is disturbing, and that's the best way to put it. But he's the one who toppled Bashar al-Assad, who, by the way, is now hiding out in Russia under the protection of Putin. So I guess anything that gets a wedge between Syria and Russia and gets Syria maybe closer to the United States is a good thing.
Well, listen, Elizabeth, I would beg to differ with you. What toppled Assad was not the 800,000 lives that were lost. It was Israel that ultimately shut down the armament from Russia, shut down the arms coming and Hezbollah coming from Iran in October 2024. And then within 4 weeks, he could no longer pay his military, and they decimated the entire Syrian military. And Assad left with his tail between his legs, and a bunch of Toyotas went down to Damascus of HTS and said they won. So many Syrians would say it wasn't HTS that won that. It was basically a decade, and then finally Israel that finalized that. So I think he's the rooster taking credit for the morning, if you will. And let's let him do that. And as we end the sanctions and begin to rebuild Syria, I think you'll see a united Syria, especially if you look at the Kurds. The Syrian Defense Forces have said they're going to work with him, and they will never allow Islamists to run Syria if the Kurdish are also included in that.
Boy, it's a tough part of the world. Syria is a big player in that region. We need it stable. Let's watch this space closely. Zuhdi Jasser, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.